Hi.
Hello,
Hi, how are you doing?
how's everybody?
Everyone, thanks for coming. Just a reminder, we're now live.
Thank you. Alex, was there any public comment?
There was not.
Oh, okay, thank you. Beautiful flowers, Miss Parker.
Thank you for my lovely flowers and chocolate. They look great and they are delicious.
You weren't supposed to eat them till Christmas.
But I was hungry today.
Those were good, yeah. I don't blame you.
Yes, thank you for my beautiful flowers and chocolate and candle. I was so excited. Oh, are those yours, Claudia, in the background?
Yes.
I do not have, I have a very makeshift setup tonight and I could not, I just could not do that. They look beautiful though. Oh my gosh.
My nice little spa retreat.
Excellent. So I'm going to put myself on mute for the moment and we will get started shortly.
Good evening, everyone.
Dr. Longo.
How are you?
It's been so long.
Yes.
Well, good evening.
I think
Hello.
we just welcomed in our union representatives that are here now too.
Great.
Hi, Ellie and Julie. How are you?
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hello, Julie. Hi, Allie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fine. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too.
Get started now. If everyone could, if everyone's ready. Gina, are you ready to begin? Yep. You can unmute yourself if you'd like, Gina.
I'm trying. Yeah.
So I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6:01 with a roll call.
Kim Leonard,
Yes.
Claudia Parker,
Here.
Colleen Klimzak,
Here.
Gina Cannon here, Dan Malloy,
Here,
Catherine Payne,
Here.
Kevin O'Connor.
Here.
And can we please
Okay,
stay?
everybody is here.
All right, stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I believe maybe, I'm hoping Miss Klimzak remembered. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us live tonight. This broadcast is being done through via the streaming at D124. I'd like to have somebody make a motion to approve the agenda as outlined. Do I have someone to make the first
I'll make that motion.
and the second?
I'll second it.
Okay, so Dan Malloy and Claudia Parker made the first and second motion. And a roll call?
Kim Leonard,
Yes.
Colleen Klimzak,
Yes.
Catherine Fontaine,
Yes.
Gina Cannon, yes. Claudia Parker,
Yes.
Daniel Malloy,
Yes.
and Kevin O'Connor.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Gina. So we are going to begin under staff reports with Dr. Longo and Dr. Webb.
Good evening, everyone. Happy holidays, and we're happy to join you tonight, right before the Christmas holiday. We are going to postpone some of our good news and honoring our district artists who put together absolutely beautiful Christmas card for us. That's Alexandra De La Rosa as well. I'm sorry, not Alexandra De La Rosa. That's another item, sorry. Our two artists put together a beautiful card design, and we will be talking about them at the next meeting, as well as honoring some of our people that work for us in the organization. But we did want to congratulate Alexandra De La Rosa. She's our EC pre-K special education teacher at Northeast, and Stephen Karras, our physical education teacher at Southeast. They just became new parents. So we have new babies in Evergreen Park, and we couldn't be happier.
Excellent. Thank you, Dr. Longo. That certainly is great news to hear. And we appreciate that. And unfortunately, yes, we really would like to do our other celebrations of someone that you should know, hopefully in person next month. So we are going to move on with the business office with Mr. Kostecki and the monthly financial report and the 2021 tax levy. So Mr. Kostecki. Mr. Kostecki, you're on mute.
Can you hear me now? All righty. All right, so the first slide is our traditional revenue side of the financials. We're 42% of the way through the year, and on whole, most of the revenues are tracking exactly as I expected. Revenues in a school district are probably the most unpredictable element of a school district. But ironically, we're tracking about $150,000 stronger than we were last year at this time. And our real estate tax levies, which were running slow in the beginning of the year, are now fully up to speed. In fact, we're running about $150,000 over last year's levels. So that's all very good. The next element of our financials obviously are our expenses. And once again, we're 42% of the way through the year, and you can see that most of our expenses are tracking below that general level. And in an aggregate, our revenues are around par with where they were last year at the same time. The preponderance of our expenses are salaries and employee benefits. Of that $9.5 million you're seeing there, salaries and benefits account for about $8,200,000 of that. Another large component part, as I've repeated month after month, is the COVID-related expenses, where you incurred about $570,000 worth of expenses. We do anticipate, and we already received one grant worth about $235,000, and FEMA grant will be processed very shortly, but that will not be as strong of a component part as we were hoping, because they disallow salary-related expenses for us. As far as our current fund balances, we're tracking fairly even with where we were last year at this time. And we have in our fund balances roughly 4.4 months worth of fund balances relative to expenses. As far as the financial element of the operation, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, Tim, how short that FEMA fund that you were counting on, how short is the actual versus your projection?
Well, I mean, at one time, I mean, the biggest element of our COVID-related expenses are the salaries for the MOU. Right now, that's running about $350,000. And in visiting with a FEMA consultant, he looked over our MOU and all the documentations I had, and he is saying that FEMA related will not cover that kind of salary expense. Their salary element is more for cost of cleanup or reactionary to a hard COVID case, that if we had to bring in an extra nurse or had to spend overtime cleaning a building, things of that nature. So, you know, I was hopeful that the MOU related expenses, which to my way of thinking is COVID related, but it won't pass mustard with FEMA.
So we're getting nothing from the FEMA, and so we're tracking 350K for the MOU with none of that coming back.
Generally speaking, yes.
But we're not getting money for FEMA related expenses to that MOU. That doesn't mean that we're not getting FEMA reimbursement.
No, I'm right now I'm submitting for hard expenses for, you know, our sanitizing units, our disinfectants, our masks, our gowns, all those kinds of things are allowable. And then for the shipping containers we brought in, all those new desks that we bought. So right now I'm going to probably put in a FEMA grant request for about $80,000 to $100,000.
Tim, can we also use the shields that we purchased?
Yes, I'm going to put a slight. I have to actually have a copy of the physical check show that we paid it. So I'm kind of waiting for that to be processed, and then I'll put in the FEMA grant, because that's probably, and it's an ongoing grant. There is no hard deadline. So if something comes up a month from now, I can also process that retroactively back into the FEMA grant. So like that.
Tim, can you just put that sort of big picture, you know, all of those parts, what is your sense where that leaves us at going forward?
Well, I mean, I was looking at that earlier today, that when I put in, there's a lot of moving parts within our expense budget. We're running slightly favorable in salaries. Ironically, we're running favorable in our substitute. I had budgeted quite a bit of money for substitute pay. That's running favorable. So there's other component parts that have been running favorable. Net, the pluses and minuses of my budget variances, including absorbing the $350,000 of MOU, I'm still positive. But, you know, we're only halfway through the year, so if something else glitches, then it's not too hard to absorb, you know, $250,000 favorable with the budget right now.
Okay, that helps. Thank you.
All right. All right.
Is there any other questions? I'm sorry, Tim.
No problem. The next component part is the levy. And we talked about this last month, that it's the same levy proposal I had before. It basically is reflective of a 2.3% increase due to consumer price index. I generally feel that our overall levy value will go up by about $560,000. But I've of course asked for more just in case we've had new growth, so we can absorb that. But generally speaking, it's probably going to come in around $550,000. So if the board approves that, then we'll be ready to roll. And then just in a sidebar later on in the agenda, you're going to see one of the things you have to vote on is the fact that I'm opening a flexible spending checking account at Evergreen Park Bank. This relates to that flexible spending account benefit that we talked about last month with our employees, where they can use pre-tax dollars for medical expenses and things of that nature. So we have to have a separate bank account for that. Is there any questions on the levy or anything else I've spoken of? All righty.
If there's not any questions at this time, we would open the floor for public hearing for the tax levy. And as the meeting has been posted in advance, I do not believe, please confirm, Ms. Hernandez or Mr. Maester, that there were no public comments for the tax levy.
I do not have any public comments.
Okay, so at this time, I'd like to close the floor. So I'm sorry, all in favor of opening the floor for public hearing for the tax levy, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And there are no public comments. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion then to also close the floor for public comments. All in favor for closing the public hearing for tax levy, say aye.
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 And let the
Aye.
record show there were no public comments. So then we will also be moving to the next one, which is just regular public comments at our open board meeting. At this time, I do not believe that we have received any public comments. Can somebody confirm that, please?
I do not have any public comments, only from the union Vice President Julie O'Connor and Secretary Allison.
Yes, okay, so at this time, we are going to move on to the next piece on the agenda, which is inviting the Union Vice President, Mrs. O'Connor, and Union Secretary, Ms. Grazovich, to speak with us this evening. And thank you so much for coming tonight.
Of course, thank you for having us. We
Yeah,
always
thank you for
appreciate
having us.
the time to be here. Good evening, everyone. I'm Julie O'Connor, and I am here with, of course, virtually with Ali Grazovich. As always, we are grateful to use this time to connect and communicate with the board and the administration. Tonight, we'd like to highlight some irreplaceable people in our district. First, we'd like to talk about the amazing efforts of our school secretaries and our office clerks, Donna at Northwest, Shelley at Southwest, Julie at Northwest, Mary Beth at Northeast, and Holly and Amanda at Central. We'd also like to highlight our health aides, Missy at Northwest, Shannon at Northeast, Evelyn at Southwest, and Arceli at Southeast. We can all agree that our schools would not run as well as they do without their organization, guidance, and behind the scenes magic. Their list of daily accomplishments cannot be fully described in a few minutes we are speaking here tonight. This pandemic has added so many facets to their day that they handle with grace. Our health aides and secretaries are on the front line for our building daily and are the first to handle any issues that come into the office, all on top of their daily tasks to keep our schools running smoothly. We truly feel that it is necessary to relay to everyone how appreciative our membership is for their continued efforts and dedication to our schools. In addition, we'd like to spotlight our district's paraprofessionals. Our district is blessed with the best paraprofessionals. Our students are successful because of their efforts and the assistance both in person and remotely. Our paraprofessionals provide instructional, behavioral, and emotional support to our students. So many of our paras are responsible for monitoring the arrival and the dismissals, and their smiles and kind greetings encourage our students to start the day with a positive mindset. Synchronous teaching has added new responsibilities to our paraprofessionals. The circumstances of teaching during this pandemic has increased our paras' responsibilities greatly, and they have stepped up and continue to exhibit professionalism and dedication to our students. We're grateful that our paras Zoom in during classes, in classroom breakout rooms, have stepped up to lead small and large group instruction. We are incredibly grateful to the paraprofessionals who have stepped up to substitute when a teacher cannot be there in person. Their efforts are a huge part of the success that we've had during the first semester of our synchronous learning.
We've all heard that saying that it takes a village to raise a child. There are so many facets of the day that have to come together to make each school day successful, and those facets are supported by our secretaries, health aides, and paraprofessionals. These people are an integral part of our village, and we are indebted to them for their hard work and service to our students. As we close out 2020, We would like to wish our Board of Education and administration a wonderful holiday season and a healthy beginning to 2021. Thank you to Catherine Fontaine for visiting our schools, once during remote learning and once during in-person learning. Thank you to our membership who continue to provide us with ideas and suggestions for improvement and change where needed. We will continue to listen to our membership as we enter the second semester, and we look forward to working closely with the board and administration to ensure success for the remainder of the school year. This has been a challenging year, and we hope the dialogue continues to happen together. Thank you for your time this evening, and happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you so much for coming and joining us tonight. It's been a hard year for all of us, and I totally agree with you recognizing and shouting out to our paras and our secretaries and our nurses and the nurse aides. They do an amazing job every day, and I'm so proud of all the work that everyone has done to keep both our staff safe and our students safe. You come every day willing to just keep at it and start over every day. It's amazing all the work that's been done this year for our students. And we are really the leaders this year for that in person. I'm so happy that our students can come to school safely with everyone and enjoy the in-person learning that it has to offer. So thank you for everyone, truly. And I wish you a happy holidays, and I hope that your holidays are safe and that you enjoy them however it looks this year. I think we all look a little different for celebrating this year. It certainly will be a challenge. So I don't know, is there anyone else that wanted to chime in?
Mrs. Leonard, if I can just share something with the board, I should have shared it earlier, of course. But whenever, as you recall, last spring, when Evergreen Park School District 124 Board of Education suspended school fees, they had one request to please pay it forward. They had no idea how their offer would echo throughout our school community and result in thousands of gifts, including clothing, food, toiletries, and toys would be donated to our neediest families. As a result, more than 150 families, including 250 children, will be receiving support to make their holiday a little bit brighter. Children will have food to eat, clothing to keep them warm, and toys under the tree. So the donation for the district's neediest families came pouring in the month with thousands of toys, foods, toiletries, and clothing given to the district to help our neediest families. But help was given by Meyer Grocery Store, gave us $3,000 to help feed our families. The Illinois State Board of Education, Deborah, and our food service director worked with the Illinois State Board of Education to continue providing breakfast and lunch to our children throughout the Christmas holidays. Teachers, community members, administrators, secretaries, support staff, board members, parents, everybody, Park District, everybody came forward. And so on the 2 Mondays, starting this Monday and the following Monday, we will have grocery pickups along with our breakfast and lunch pickups at Central Middle School for our Evergreen Park families. Again, 150 families will be taking advantage of this food distribution. I've heard Santa Claus might be there. There'll be Christmas music. Anybody that would like to help, we appreciate your help. We're going to be loading groceries into cars as they come through the caravan. The Evergreen Park Police Department has volunteered to come over and support us. So that's between 10 and 11:30. But, you know, when you talk about, Julie addressed the whole village, you know, it takes a village. This really is a village that we could be proud of, because when you asked the community to come forward, they did. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Longo. That just melts my heart knowing that it was a really it's awesome hearing how many families will be supported during this holiday season, and that the community did pay it forward. I'm so grateful and very excited. I'm not surprised. We live in a great community, and every public works, the fire department, police department, the public library, everywhere you look, somebody is willing, and our small businesses, our large businesses, they have been so helpful this year. And, I'm very grateful. And again, I'm very happy that we live in such a great community, and we're able to support each other during these times. At this time, I would like to move on, unless anyone else has any other comments, any of the board members, I'm sorry. Or Dr. Webb, I apologize. Okay.
President Leonard and members of the board, and to this wonderful community. I allowed Margaret to do all the front talking, but I just want you to know how proud I am of this community and the way we have picked up, given within our hearts, to watch the staff come together at central office and maintenance to put all the stuff and organize everything. We are a blessing to others, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of such a wonderful, cheerful, and just generous community, such as Evergreen Park School District 124 and community.
Thank you, Dr. Webb. I appreciate it. And we are so grateful for the leadership that both you have had and Dr. Longo. It's been a tough year, and we've really come out on top. At this time, I'd like to move over to the board reports. And Gina Cannon, I think you're going to give a quick update on the Aero Governing Board report.
Yeah, everything is going well. Pretty slow this time of year. And that's about it right now.
Thank you so much, Gina. We look forward to more board reports next year. I know that we also, I believe, had a policy committee meeting with Colleen Klimczak and Dan Malloy.
We had that today.
Excellent.
Via Zoom a couple hours ago. So our packet was
Colleen, we put you, somehow you went on mute.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
So there were 6 or 7 policies of note, and a whole lot of them that didn't pertain to us or were unchanged, as is often the case. There were a number of policies that were updated for language around a pandemic. So specifically school year and calendar and day, accounting for or allowing for e-learning days to count towards the total numbers. They needed to obviously update that for our current situation. Other things that were per pandemic were regarding grading and promotion and things like that. Trying to find the exact language, assessments, state assessments not required when waived, in a pandemic, again, things like that were updated. There was grading and promotion. So curriculum specifically, one of the policies was adding more specific language and also more active language about the superintendent and their roles in keeping the curriculum up to date and having something more active in the language for that. And then specifically, there was one more, the very last policy that we were talking about was one that had to do with fundraising in the district, like the students fundraising and things like that. And our interim superintendents had the very good idea that we need to consider our current language, which does talk about, fundraising for what part the students can be, fundraising efforts shall not conflict with instructional activities, things like that. They can't conflict with, if we're paying for lunches, they're not supposed to be conflicting with that kind of thing. Student safety is paramount is one of the issues or one of the items under that. And more specifically, Drs. Longo and Bridges Webb suggested that we add some language that said that any door-to-door solicitation is strongly discouraged. Just in our current situation, we shouldn't be knocking on doors anyway. I don't think there's a lot of fundraising efforts going on at this moment, but certainly that is not something that we should be expecting our students to do if there's any chance that it might be unsafe. To stick with the people that we know and our wonderful community. We all know lots and lots of people. They might not be the ones up and down the block, but so we really need to make that more specific, that would never be expected of a student to have to actually go door to door to do fundraising efforts. So and I believe the numbers for the different policies are listed later in the agenda, in the consent agenda, but that's the summary, I think.
Does anyone have any questions for her about the policies that we received in our packets?
And Drs. Longo or Bridges Webb, did I forget anything? Okay.
Forgot to unmute, but I think she's saying you hit the head. You got it perfect.
Okay, thanks.
Excellent. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. And we're going to move on to the IASB Virtual Summit. I think there were 3 of us that attended. It was myself, Colleen, and maybe Catherine. I don't know if anyone else.
Kim. I think it's the dirt.
Oh, did I skip? I always skip over something. Thank you, Sonia. So the district review team meeting, I'm sorry, I need to turn that over to Dan Malloy. Uh-oh.
Hey, I'm unmuted.
Hey, I skipped over you. Sorry about that, Dan.
I know, it's not even written in here on the screen. I figured I just got deleted. There was similar concerns as to last month's district review, just about what we had going on with in-person. And we were discussing in regards to the plan that we had in place going through the holidays and currently what we're executing. I mean, we all know we're remote right now, and we will be when we come back the first week of the year. And like always, there was praise for the building and grounds. What a wonderful job they do, keeping our buildings as clean and safe as possible. And that, other than that, there was no major glowing concerns that were brought to the district review team. Now you're on mute, Kim.
That doesn't happen often.
You were so quiet we couldn't hear.
So does anyone have any questions for Dan or Dr. Webb and Dr. Longo about the DIRT meeting? And they sound like great meetings and great communication that's going on. And I'm glad to hear that we're bringing forward issues that we can resolve and work on and move forward. So that sounds very good. Thank you so much, Dan, for attending. We're going to move on to the IASB Virtual Summit review now that I didn't skip Dan. So I believe there were 3 or 4 of us. I can't remember if Claudia attended. It feels like it was so long ago, and yet it really wasn't. So those of you who went and attended online, would you please help and share with me some of the things that you took away that day?
I attended. I thought it was good. It certainly doesn't replace the full conference. They tried to choose presenters that kind of appealed to a wide range of, district sizes and issues and things like that. which was a good idea, but there were a couple of them that all I could think of when I was listening to them is, wow, where are you doing this? Like we know this, you know, so I understand that there might be other groups or other districts that aren't as far along with us in some areas. And so that's, I guess, one thing I like about being able to choose our path when we're there. I didn't really expect it to replace the full in-person conference. And so it was useful. I look forward to having choices again next year. So.
Hey, Kim. Hi, Catherine.
Hey, yeah, I did attend all day. I know Kim and I talked one-on-one afterwards. They hit on a class about generational poverty and really talking about that group within your own school community. And they discussed one school district presented something they called the matrix, which I thought was very interesting on how we can help this group more and, better provide for certain groups. I do like having choices, like Colleen said, they kind of just gave you, but I feel like I keep joking with myself because the last class kept saying, as an administrator or a school board member, when you're talking to anybody within your school district, to ask them, help me understand why this is important to you, so that we know when we're talking to that one individual who may be happy, sad, mad, whatever the emotion, that's what you're supposed to ask. And that was the big takeaway for me at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that last speaker really, honestly, she started out kind of quiet and her message wasn't very clear in the beginning. And all of a sudden it turned a corner and she just honestly grabbed my attention, and I could have listened to her for longer. And she was amazing. She had some great takeaways for me. So I agree. Although it was definitely a strange type of a summit or a conference that we normally attend, the IASB put on a great day for us, and I was very grateful that they did something. And I'm sure it was a challenge to coordinate all those efforts. They only had a few blips with technology, and it's certainly, we all understand that. So it was, but I agree with you, Catherine. Every one of them were good in their own way, not necessarily pertaining to what I probably wouldn't have attended some of them had there been other choices, but it was good to hear. And again, like you said, I stayed on all day, listened to all of them, and it was definitely different. Hopefully that's the first and the last virtual summit for all of us. So thank you so much.
I was just going to add, I haven't watched the entire day, but I've watched segments because I was doing remote learning the day that it was live, but I do have the recording, so I've been watching them here or there. But I was mostly interested in my own line of business, which are the school districts that presented themselves through video production. I was super jealous of what Cicero School District has going on. That was incredible. Yes. Their facilities are amazing, which made me think how nice it would be for our community to see what we presented last year. I think we should release our videos, especially since we haven't been in the buildings and we haven't kind of seen, it just puts us in the likeness of, and not to play favorites, but Dan's is my favorite. Because it just shows Dan is a big loving teddy bear. Oh my God. So
that's a great idea, Claudia. That's a great idea to post those on our website. It does really spotlight how our community, and we had a great videographer that day.
I think the parents, and just our community in general will not just appreciate what we presented last year at the conference, but also it kind of gives you the warm and fuzzies of kind of like what things used to be like post-pandemic, so, or pre-pandemic. So yeah, let's just show everybody, you know,
Yes.
our throwback, our throwback Thursday moment, maybe.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yes, we'll talk with Alex and get that started because honestly, it also is a testament to how much we love our community and how proud we are of our school district. You guys that were presenting up there had a line and people were being kicked out of the room because there were so many school districts that wanted to hear about us. So I think you're right. We need to show how much our schools shine. We have some great teachers and great learning going on. So thank you. That's a great idea. Take away from that. Yeah, it was a great day. I walked away really excited about some of the stuff I had heard, as like you guys have, hopefully. So anyone else? I think that was it. Yeah, I know you were jumping in and on when you could that day, Claudia. So moving on, we'll move on to the Finance Committee report. And I believe that will be, I honestly don't know who's presenting for that. I apologize.
I'm sorry, Kim, we took that one off. That's going to be for next month.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. You know, I try to read my thing as, so the next one, is there still an E though? The superintendent search update, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So the superintendent search update, we have identified a candidate and we are very excited and in contract negotiations right now with that person. We hope that in January to bring them forward and be able to vote at the next January board meeting in 2021. It has been a long time coming and we are grateful for all the hard work Dr. Webb and Dr. Longo did to help this progress grow. It was quite a challenge again, doing it during a pandemic. It certainly presented challenges to the candidates as well as the school board. And we had a great interview with all of them. And so next month we will bring forward someone to vote on. At this time, I'd like to move to, I believe, action items, correct, Sonia?
Yes.
Okay. Under the consent agenda A at this time, number 1 is to approve the monthly transaction report for November of 2020. Number 2 is to approve the fund balance report for November 2020. Number 3 is to approve the expenditure report and projected payroll report for December of 2020. Number 4 is to approve board minutes from the special meeting on November 16th, 2020. Number 5 is to approve the closed session minutes from the special meeting of November 16th, 2020. Number 6 is to approve board minutes from the regular meeting of November 17th, 2020. Number 7 is to approve closed session minutes from the regular meeting of November 17th, 2020. Number 8 is to approve board minutes from the special meeting of November 30th, 2020. Number 9 is to approve closed session minutes from the special meeting of November 30th, 2020. Number 10 is to approve destruction of closed session tapes from September of 2016. Number 11 is personnel recommendations as outlined. There are 2 people that are resigning with the intent to retire. Dan Greger, who is our custodian at the district office effective December 11th, and Marge Senth, the food service at Northwest, effective December 14th, 2020. We are so grateful for the years of service, and we wish them very much happiness in their retirement. And I hope they're going to be somewhere warm soon then, enjoying their retirement. At this time, do I have somebody to make a motion for consent agenda A?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
All right, so Dan Malloy made the first and Colleen Klimzak has made the second motion. Can I please have a roll call?
Dan Malloy,
Yes.
Colleen Klimzak,
Yes.
Kim Leonard. Kim,
Yes.
Catherine Fontaine,
Yes.
Gina Cannon, yes. Claudia Parker,
Yes.
and Kevin O'Connor.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
I'm sorry, Kim, there was also a leave of absence without pay.
I apologize. Okay, and also,
As part of the personnel recommendations.
Under 11B.
Yes.
under 11B, let the record show all in favor of also adding that to 11B, say aye.
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 Let the record show all 7 have agreed to 11B also with that. Let's see. There you go. I really, and then B is to approve the FY 2021 tax levy. Do I have someone to make the first motion?
I'll make that motion.
And
I'll
the
second.
second? Kevin. So let the record show Colleen Klimzak and Kevin O'Connor have first and second that motion. And can we have a roll call?
Colleen Klimzak,
Yes.
Kevin O'Connor,
Yes.
Dan Malloy,
Yes.
Claudia Parker,
Yes.
Gina Cannon, yes. Catherine Fontaine,
Yes.
and Kim Leonard.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
C is to approve the flexible spending bank account. I would like just Mr. Kosecki, could you please just kind of review how, why this flex spending bank account is being opened?
Basically, the township normally administers all of our bank accounts, but they do not allow bank accounts where a processing company would do a direct withdrawal from that account. So what goes on in flexible spending, we're hiring an administrator who will then do all of the processing of claims that the participants have. And so let's pretend in January, they process $800 worth of claims. They will make an audit, and the participants will be using their credit cards for that purpose. The processor will then take right from that bank account directly a direct withdrawal. We won't have to write a check. That's just not something the township allows. So all our deposits will go in there, and all the deposits from the withdrawal, the payroll deductions will go into that bank account, and the withdrawals will come from that bank account. So
Haven't we used flex spending before, or is this a new first time we've used
I
it?
believe that was, I heard that it was over 7-8 years ago. So
Okay. So are we doing it internally, or are we using a vendor for the accounts payable and receivable for that account?
we're using an outside plan administrator, the same people that run our health insurance. Gallagher has an organization that they represent, they sponsor called Benefit Wallet, and they actually do the processing.
Is there any other questions for Mr. Kosecki before we make a motion? No? Okay, so would someone please make the first motion
I'll make that motion.
and a second?
I'll second.
Let the record show that Gina Cannon and Claudia Parker made the first and second motion, and a roll call.
Gina Cannon, yes. Claudia Parker,
Yes.
Daniel Malloy,
Yes.
Kevin O'Connor,
Yes.
Catherine Fontaine,
Yes.
Kim Leonard,
Yes.
and Colleen Klimzak.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
All right, thank you. And D is to approve the first readings of revised board policies 340, 410, 455, 480, 490, 4150, 4175, 530, 5190, 5270, 615, 620, 640, 6280, 6300, 6310, 6315, 6320, 6340, 7100, 7140, 7300, and 7325 as recommended by the Illinois Association of School Boards. Do I have someone to make the first
I'll make
motion
that, I'll make that motion.
and the second motion?
I'll second.
Okay,
Dan
let the
Malloy?
record show that Dan Malloy and was that Colleen? I apologize.
Yes.
Colleen Klimzak made the first and second motion, and a roll call.
Dan Malloy,
Yes.
Colleen Klimzak,
Yes.
Kim Leonard,
Yes.
Catherine Fontaine,
Yes.
Gina Cannon. Yes. Kevin O'Connor
Yes.
and Claudia Parker.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
Is to approve the first reading of revised board policy 5120 and 5125 as recommended by the Board Policy Committee. Do I have a first one to make a motion
I'll make that motion. Oops, sorry.
and a second?
I'll second. Gina and I have 1 and 2 covered. We're just, yeah.
Excellent. So Colleen Klimzak and Gina Cannon made the first and the second, and a roll call.
Colleen Klimzak,
Yes.
Gina Cannon, yes. Catherine Fontaine,
Yes.
Kim Leonard,
Yes.
Kevin O'Connor,
Yes.
Daniel Malloy,
Yes.
and Claudia Parker.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
All right, thank you. And the next one is to, F is to approve the contract addendum for the Director of Building and Grounds as outlined. I believe everyone received the addendum. Can someone please make a first motion
I'll make that motion.
and a second motion?
I'll second.
And let the record show that Colleen Klimzak and Kevin O'Connor has made the first and second motion, and a roll call.
Colleen Klimzak,
Yes.
Kevin O'Connor,
Yes.
Daniel Malloy,
Yes.
Claudia Parker,
Yes.
Gina Cannon, yes. Catherine Fontaine,
Yes.
and Kim Leonard.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
Thank you. The next is to make a motion to recess to closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee of the district or legal counsel for the district, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee or against legal counsel for the district to determine its validity. Do I have someone to make the first motion
I'll make that motion.
and a second
I'll second.
and a roll call?
Gina Cannon, yes. Daniel Malloy,
Yes.
Kevin O'Connor,
Yes.
Kim Leonard,
Yes.
Colleen Klimzak,
Yes.
Catherine Fontaine,
Yes.
Claudia Parker.
Yes, sorry.
It's okay. Motion is passed.
I do not believe at this time we will be making any we will not be, I do not believe that we will be taking any action to approve anything from closed session. Dr. Longo and Dr. Webb, could you maybe just confirm? I don't believe any action.
Yes, there will be no action after closed session.
Okay, so with that being said, we will come back to close out our open meeting. But just so that anyone in the public knows, we'll just be coming out and adjourning the meeting when we're done with closed session. I appreciate everyone logging in tonight and watching. And we wish you a happy holidays. However you spend them, please stay safe. And meeting for current is suspended right now, and we will go into closed session. Everyone, please log off on your computer completely. And I did send you a new Zoom link. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is everyone back?
You should start your video if you're not, if you have not.
Yeah, we're good to go. I think we're waiting. I think Gina is the only one missing. And here she is.
Thank you, Alex.
Gina.
All right. Gina, you're back. Can you hear us? I'm hoping that Gina can, there you are, Gina. So we are coming back out of closed session at 8:29. Please let the record reflect. All members are present and there will be no action taken. And so at this time, I would like to adjourn the meeting at 8:29. All in favor? Aye.
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 Aye. All right. And that's it, folks. Have a great holiday and we will see you again soon.
Merry
Same to
Christmas,
you.
everyone.
Merry
Yes,
Christmas,
Merry
happy
Christmas.
holidays,
Merry
happy
Christmas.
Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa.
Nice.
Yes.
Bye, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Excellent.
Christmas.